Hello and welcome to the Celestial Garden Show. I'm your host, Shanice, and this is your astrological forecast for the week of April the 14th until the 20th of 2024. And this week is potentially very lucky. I advise anybody to go and get, or everybody to go and get a lottery ticket. We have Jupiter, the planet of abundance, luck, and one of the planets that represent money, forming a conjunction with the planet of sudden surprise, independence, rebellion, and innovation. They're talking to each other in the sign of money, Taurus. So, yeah, get that lottery ticket, especially if you are a Libra rising. If you have Taurus in the eighth house, get that lottery ticket. That's other people's money that you can inherit this week. But anyway, yeah, this week looks pretty lucky given that we are in eclipse season. We're still in it, but we are ending it. We are walking out of this energy. So you should start to feel a little bit lighter. Things should start to feel, a little bit easier. Life should go a little bit smoother. Now that we are out of unpredictable eclipse season. And something that I noticed about this eclipse is it was conjunct Chiron. And when I was watching the live stream in every city, it was very emotional. Like people were crying. And I want to add clips to these podcasts. But yeah, people were crying. Watching a live stream with Robin Roberts and some guy, I don't know his name, sorry. And they were crying and hugging each other, and then they were like talking to the audience. And then there was like another live stream, I believe it was in Indiana, and a guy was like crying because of his mom. It was just a really emotional eclipse. So that was something that I noticed. I want to be respectful, and I know that an influencer passed away, an astrology influencer passed away. It was a very, very, very tragic accident, and I want to pay my respects. I did make a post, and I want to say that sometimes, I can admit that I can be insensitive, and I think my post after I posted it, but I've already made the post, so I'm not gonna take it down. But like, I was like, that's kind of insensitive. I was kind of comparing it to like an Isaac and Abraham moment, and that could come off insensitive, and I don't want to like say that I'm being disrespectful because I'm not. Like, I don't want people to take it that way, but that's how I kind of like intellectualized it, to kind of like process it and make sense of it for me, um, because it is tragic. But an astrology influencer passed away, and I want to say that astrology did not influence this. This is mental health. And this is why I preach about going to therapy. I've also told people not to take shrooms. And there was a comment from one of the people, like mutuals that I follow, and she followed me on TikTok, and she was like, "Well, that's not my experience when I was telling people not to take shrooms. Like, be careful about it. Make sure you see like a professional or something when you take the shrooms." And she was like, "That's not my experience." And I guess she felt like I was fear mongering, but like, no, a lot of people can become ungrounded, like weed and like shrooms, psychedelics. That's not for everybody. And we need to stop normalizing this, like, especially on social media. And I'm not saying that that lady was taking it. I'm just, trying to give y'all like parallels to it, like how people can get ungrounded in the spiritual community. I'm not saying that that was her situation or her case. I've seen a lot of people talking about it potentially being linked to postpartum, depression or psychosis. But I just want people to understand that like life is hard, and everybody isn't living the life that you are living. If you have the luxury to say or to look down on her, because that's a luxury, especially in this situation, and especially in the case of her children and the her partner. Um, like you have the luxury of making a comment on it, and be careful what you say. Like just be mindful, show some sympathy, show some like empathy for her daughter, like what she been through and what she had to see and what she has to live through. So, it just be mindful, like don't put this on astrology. If anything, this was a mental health issue, and being a person of color in the Black community, we are now starting to talk about mental health, which I'm like super super happy to hear. But let's be honest, all the way around, like it is not just astrology or spirituality or the metaphysics. This could be related to religion as well. There is a such thing as religious psychosis. So yeah, that's my 2 cents um on that. But make sure you're grounded. This is why, like, I tell people about hexing and like all of that kind of stuff. When you get into the whole Sanderson sister side of, I'm not sure. Okay, I got Mercury and Leo, y'all. So forgive me if I make jokes. But like when you get into the whole, hexing people and my ancestors are powerful and I'm a strong supreme witch, then you're getting into the realm of psychosis. You can use astrology, I believe personally, and I haven't read anywhere where this is not the rule in Christianity, but like you can use astrology with Christianity. It's a tool. Um and it's very helpful, especially for me when it comes to my mental health. That's why I like to use it in a practical way. When I explain the transits, I try to explain it in a way that's practical, that's digestible, that's easily to be understood by somebody who's like just coming into astrology. I try not to get into like, oh, your ancestors are calling you. That's why, like, yes, I do identify myself as a medium, but I try not to get into like the whole metaphysics, or not metaphysics, but like the whole unseen side of it. Like I try to stay grounded in this reality as much as I can, and I try to use these tools to the best of my ability, practically to the best of my ability. So yeah, that's like my whole premise, or that's like my whole thing around me practicing astrology and sharing it with you all. So yeah, I know that, um people's beliefs are a touchy topic, but given the climate of a lot of people's mental health and the history of humans, period, like the war and shit that we've done and destroyed the planet, I think it's time for us to like stop making these topics taboo. And I think it's time for us to come together in so many ways. But anyway, let's get into the tarot card of the week. The tarot card that came out was the King of Pentacles. And it's ironic because, like I said, or I don't know if I mentioned this, but there's a transit happening Saturday that's lucky. Get a lottery ticket, especially if you are a Libra rising, get a lottery ticket. Uranus is forming a conjunction with Jupiter. So that's the planet of luck and abundance and sudden surprise coming together and talking to each other, and the planet that's ruled by Venus. And Venus is in her detriment right now. Don't be scared when you hear words like detriment. Just know that Venus just wants what she wants right now. That's all that means. It doesn't mean that she's not able to make money or fall in love and all that kind of stuff. It just means that she wants what she wants right now, and she got to ground herself in understanding that sometimes she can't get what she wants right now. She got to wait. That's Venus in Aries. So with that energy being in Aries, this could be like something huge coming in, something like so lucky, something it's basically like hard work being paid off, because the card that was grounding the King of Pentacles was death. So this is the end of a cycle. This is the end of a certain life, I guess, in your life. Not to make it, so morbid or, dark, But death does not always have to be literal. This could be ending something like, smoking, drinking, starting a new workout routine, ending being lazy, ending a certain diet, like take it as it resonates. But this pertains to something that you ended, something lucky, something rewarding. And then again, this could be a huge reality check as well, because Jupiter and Saturn kind of work together in the sense of like they both want the truth. So, in order to get to the lucky abundance energy of Jupiter, you have to be seeking the truth. That's why Jupiter loves knowledge, it loves to study because it's always seeking the truth. So, yeah, that's the tarot energy of the week. King of Pentacles, stability. So, this could be the ending of some sort of like financial crisis in your life. This could be financial stability entering your life. But take it how it resonates. Let's get into the astrology of the week. And I'm going to start with Sunday. I know I'm late, and I told y'all last week I like to make sure that I am getting all of the information for the week. Another thing that I want to mention about like spiritual psychosis, because a lot of people like to say that astrology can make you crazy or astrology people are kooky. um, which I mean, okay, touche, you got a point. I probably am, but like, I want to say this week actually, when the moon is in Gemini, for some strange reason, when anything is in Gemini, things get a little bit like chaotic for me. Um, and I don't know why, but anyway, so like when the moon forms I guess it's because Neptune is in Gemini right now. So when the moon forms a square to Neptune in Gemini, I get a little bit kooky. Like basically irrational fears are unlocked every month. Every month. It's crazy. Like clockwork. And sometimes I forget because I don't think people know this, but I don't track astrology for myself all day, every day. I don't even track astrology all day, every day. Sometimes I take a break from it. I only do it like when I'm doing these horoscopes, where I'm only tracking it when I'm tracking these horoscopes or I'm writing something. But I try not to like look at it every single day, every moment. So sometimes I forget about the moon squaring Neptune every month, the moon in Gemini squaring Neptune in Pisces every month. So for this month, um, I'm laughing about it now. But whatever the opposite of claustrophobic is, I am the opposite. So I don't like huge open spaces. I don't like flying. I don't like heights. I don't want to say that I have a fear about heights necessarily, but I just don't like huge open spaces. So if I'm in a closed space and it's like we're high up, that wouldn't bother me so much. But anyway, I saw a picture of like Earth in like the Himalayan mountains from space, and it just like I don't know, I just started to have these irrational fears of like walking outside and like gravity getting shut off, stuff like that, like just weird shit. And mind you, that's so like weird. Why would I think that? I mean, yeah, irrational fears. That's the moon in Gemini for me. Squaring Neptune in Pisces, that's irrational. And then Neptune is in like the 12th house, which is like kooky mental issues. But anyway, well, it can be. I don't want to offend anybody. So I say all of that to say, me knowing that the moon square Neptune every month, and that happens, like, not saying that me having that irrational fear about the Himalayan mountains from space, seeing that happens every month, it could be something different. But like me having those irrational fears every month when the moon forms a square to Neptune is a pattern that I noticed that brings me comfort, that helps me get through my mental health issues and like my intrusive thoughts and irrational fears. So I just want to like note that for people who think astrology is just for like wacky people, which I mean, okay, yeah, maybe, but like it helps us stay grounded in this reality. Some of us, anyway. But that's like just one funny thing that I noticed. That's not the reason why I gravitated towards astrology, but like, I think we all have those weird, intrusive thoughts or irrational fears. But anyway, let's get into the week. So I'm going to start with Sunday. And on Sunday, the moon is in Cancer all day, and it's talking to Saturn and the North Node, and there's a bit of conflicting energy. So basically, on Sunday, the moon is asking us to be mindful about how we talk to people, how we talk to ourselves, most importantly. But it's also saying, like, to pay attention to your emotions and nurture them, because the moon is in Cancer and the moon is comfortable in Cancer. So it's able to, Cancer is a nurturing energy. Like, I have a Cancer sun and I am the mom, okay? Like, I want to be everybody's mama and I want to cook and do everything. And that's what the moon represents in so many words in Cancer. It wants to nurture, it wants to, like, just be there in support of those emotions. So if you are feeling like conflicted within your emotions, sit down and, like, observe that. And instead of impulsively acting on those emotions, journal about them or try to channel that into something more positive. And let's get into Monday, April the 15th, with the moon still being in Cancer for most of the day. This moon energy is literally asking us to step up and get out of our comfort zones. Um, you may have some issues come up related to your self-esteem in regards to, like, past relationships that you've been hurt in. Your why can't I talk? Your vulnerabilities might get exposed this week. So just make sure you are being kind to yourself. Make sure you are staying grounded for the most part, but, like, just making sure you are not exposing yourself to unwanted energy, in so many words. So that's Monday in a nutshell. You might have something unexpected happen, some unexpected news come in, but overall, it's trying to get you to um, face your vulnerabilities, and nurture them. Learn how to, like, in so many words, for me, Monday looks like self-regulation, like learning how to self-regulate if you struggle with that. Because I know most people like me, who don't have parents, like, who didn't grow up with that stability, struggle with emotional or just self-regulation, period, in general. And that's something that I've learned in therapy and I'm still learning how to do. But yeah, and later on in the day, the moon will enter Leo. And when the moon enters Leo, it gets more expressive. So just make sure you are mindful that you are not emotionally reacting on impulse. Make sure you reflect and check in with yourself all week. Okay? I can't stress that enough, because, like, I've been talking to a few people, even like strangers, people that I meet, like, when I'm going out to run errands, or, like, even like when I'm on the phone talking to people from customer service. Like, I'm one of those people. I'm like, grandma, Cancer. Okay, I told you, Cancer. I'm a grandma, nurturing mom energy. I talk to everybody, and I want to know how everybody's feeling. Um, but everybody's going through, like, a tough time. Even, like, this person that checks in on me because I have really difficult mental health issues that I, like, have to work through. He's even going through a difficult time, not to put his business out. Y'all don't know him anyway, but, like, he's that support system for me. And it's like, damn, he even going through something. So yeah, we are going through a challenging time, and I'm praying that this week is actually healing. Not only healing, but, like, I don't want to say healing, scratch that. I want to say I hope this week is a great week for all of us, for many of us, especially those of us who deserve it. But the moon is entering into Leo later in the evening or later that day. And our emotions can be a bit dramatic when the moon is in Leo. It wants to be seen, it wants to be heard. So you are feeling this moody energy all weekend, and it trickles into the week. And by the beginning of the week, it's like, all right, I gotta say how I feel in so many words. But like I said, make sure you are um grounded and reflecting with yourself first. Check in with yourself. Make sure you aren't just, like, saying or doing things that you'll regret later. So let's get into Tuesday. Was I on Monday or Tuesday? I was on Monday. I was talking about Monday and I was then getting into Tuesday. But Monday starts off with like having issues with potentially communicating. I don't know if I talked about Monday. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, y'all. But like it starts with you might have energy or issues, not energy, issues with like communicating, and it also is a triggering day, like a lot of issues regarding like your emotional wounds and like your self-esteem and your sense of autonomy might get put to the forefront, and there may be some sort of challenge with communicating or like some sort of misunderstanding, and this is an opportunity to clear that, on Monday. So just acknowledge, that sometimes we have to revisit things that we don't want to, or we have to like have conversations that we don't want to. This is an opportunity for us to level up, to boss up, in so many words. And it wants you to address the communication issues, the issues that you have with regarding your emotional wounds and your self-esteem. That's basically what this energy is trying to do. So just make sure that you understand that you are going through something, but other people are going through something too. And try, like, I can't stress this enough because Mars is in Pisces. So like try your best not to like react off of your emotions. Sit with your emotions before reacting. If you feel like, you feel that energy bubbling up because we have like Venus in Aries, the moon in Leo on Monday, then work out or channel that energy into something creative. But try not to like do something that you'll regret. I can't stress that enough this week. Um, so let's get into Tuesday. Tuesday, we have the moon opposing Pluto. And this is more going into like that's Tuesday morning, like when most of us are asleep. So this is while we are sleeping, and Tuesday might be a good day to pay attention to like your dreams when you wake up, or pay attention to how you feel throughout the day. What um what things come to the surface out of nowhere, like unexpectedly, that you feel that these things could be related to like control issues, things of like you have issues with jealousy, feeling envious, and not being able to be independent, so like feeling needy. Like what come up for you? It's very important to pay attention to that all day Tuesday, because when the moon goes void, this is a time to reflect on like the projects or the things that you're working on, or the energy that you're focusing on in your life, like the situations that you're focusing on. This is the opportunity to change those and to like construct it into something that's more workable for you, and like avoid confrontation, in so many words, avoid any more issues. Okay. So we also have Venus conjuncting the North Node. So Venus is at her detriment in the North Node. And like I said before, it's basically like, I want what I want right now. It's like Veruca salt in so many words from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It's like Veruca salt type of energy. It's like, I want it now, daddy. Um, that was a terrible impersonation. But this could be us focusing on things that align with what our heart feels called to do, like our sense of purpose. This is aligning with evolving and personally growing, not only for yourself, but for the collective, because the North Node is like collective energy, where the universe is flowing collectively, energetically. So when Venus, what we want and desire, and the things that we enjoy and like to indulge in, forms a conjunction to the North Node, it's just us really feeling passionate about what we feel called to do. And we might want it now. We want our dreams and aspirations and goals to happen now. And I just want to remind you to be patient, because by the end of the week, something might shake, okay? Something good might happen or will happen. I'm not going to say might. Something good will happen because, yeah, it has to, right? It will. Something great will happen. But yeah, I think that's on Wednesday, I believe. Venus forms a conjunction. I said Tuesday, but that I believe is on Wednesday. Let me double check because I just be talking. Um, yes, on Wednesday, Venus is forming a conjunction with the North Node. So yeah, that's what we are wanting, what we want right now. And the moon for most of Wednesday is in Leo. I kept saying Tuesday, but I meant Wednesday. So make sure also you are not overextending yourself. Make sure you are not over communicating. Make sure you are staying grounded within yourself, reflecting on your emotions throughout the week because we are feeling that Jupiter conjunct Uranus. So like we are feeling the need to like break free from something. Like this almost feels like the energy of like impulsively quitting your job or like just moving anywhere. Like, well, not anywhere, but like just moving somewhere that you least expect, somewhere out of your comfort zone. That's what this week is giving. So just make sure you are checking in with yourself throughout the week. So that is Wednesday. I don't know why I do that. I start singing um the vibes. But anyway, so on Thursday, we have the moon talking to the sun. So the moon in Leo. The moon is, well, actually, Leo is at home, or like Leo. Leo is the home of the sun, and the moon is also comfortable in Leo, but it's not home or anything like that. It's just comfortable there. So the moon is in the sun's home, talking to the sun in its exaltation, Aries. So this is really low key giving selfish energy. And I'm not mad at it, especially if you are a people pleaser. This is really standing up for yourself. When the moon trines the sun in the morning, this is really, really standing up for yourself and expressing yourself in a way that aligns with your goals. And it's expressing your confidence. It's almost like, oh shit, she got a backbone. That's what Thursday is giving. And then the moon will move into Virgo. And it's almost like when we stand up for ourselves or we like do something that's out of our comfort zones, but aligns with who we authentically are. And then the moon moves into Virgo and it's like, oh my God, did I do a good job? Like, oh my God, it's like analyzing everything. It's almost like having an argument and thinking of like the witty things afterwards. That's what that's given, or that is what this energy. What I don't know why I always have a hard time talking. That is what this energy is giving on Thursday. So I'm not mad if you express yourself in a bold way on Thursday. Like I said, even if, especially, not even if, especially if you are typically a people pleaser, because this is literally a boost from the universe to help you overcome some sort of obstacle and open the door for a new opportunity. So keep that in mind, okay? Yeah, for Thursday. That's on Thursday. And then on Friday, we have Mercury retrograde forming a conjunction with Venus. So on Wednesday, Venus was talking to the North Node, our purpose, our goal, where our soul is trying to go. Well, now we're the what we desire and what we love, Venus, what we want, and being in Aries, what we want and what we want now is talking to Mercury. And Mercury is how we intellectualize things, is how we make sense of things in so many words. And it's appearing to go backwards in the sky. So it's reflecting and trying to make us correct some things. So Venus, what we want and what we want now, talking to the way that we make sense of things, is aligning with the conversations that we might have had earlier in the week. It's making us rethink those conversations, making sure we um, are communicating in the way that aligns with who we authentically are. This could also be somebody from your past popping back up. Um, and I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, Venus, or not Venus, Mercury being retrograde is not always a bad thing. Like when people from your past come up, it's not always bad. Sometimes it's an opportunity to like correct or close the door, like just heal some things. So keep that in mind. And we have the sun on Friday entering Taurus. So we are now going into Taurus season. And this is trying to get stability in our lives. So the sun, basically, wherever the sun moves, is highlighting, it's showing or shining a light. So this is shining a light on stability, practicality, um, and just like what we like to indulge in, our sense of pleasure, our natural talents, things that we are naturally gifted in. That is our focus when the sun moves into Taurus or shining a light. It wants the sun, think of the sun as a hero. The sun just wants to be a hero. It wants to save everything. And it has to realize that it can't, but it wants to. That's what the sun energy basically embodies. And it's also this is a time where we can really slow down. And because Mercury, or not Mercury, but Aries season was so intense. Taurus season is giving us the opportunity to slow down and appreciate the things that we really love, especially with Mars being in Pisces. So we can really move with emotion and towards the things that we feel spiritually connected to. So that's Friday. When the sun enters Taurus, keep all of that in mind for Taurus season. And the moon, like I said, we on Thursday it's like we speak our truth, we get a backbone or something, and we are overthinking it. On Friday, we when the moon moves into Virgo later on Thursday, or not later, in Thursday morning, and then it goes void, so it's not making any aspects, so it's kind of like, dang, like I can't do anything, I can't say anything. And then on Friday it's like we get some movement because the moon is now able to communicate, and from whatever is communicated this week to you on Friday, it's almost like, okay, now you're getting some sort of answer from it, some sort of response from it, and it might surprise you. You just never know. But Friday is the time to like basically reassess your relationships, the way that you communicate, the way that you deal with your finances. This could also be a time to reflect if you spend impulsively, because Venus is in that impulsive energy. So this is the time to get a hold of that. I'm talking to Pisces risings because y'all got the money house. Like the second house is basically giving like money. It's not really how you, well, it's how you make money, but it's not like really, it's how you work hard for money in so many words. That's the second house. And with Aries being in your second house, it's kind of like very fast. You want fast money sometimes, or you can impulsively spend. So, like, yeah, depending on your chart. But anyway, let's get into Saturday. The moon is in Virgo for most of the day, and then in the evening time or at night, the moon moves into Libra. And so this is the first time the moon is in Libra since the Libra eclipse. And we might hear some stuff about Diddy in so many words on Saturday, or like the days leading up to, or like following Saturday. So like 3 days before, 3 days after. We'll probably hear something about Diddy because the moon will be entering Libra. And if y'all can recall, the raid happened during the Libra eclipse that happened on March the 25th. So now that the moon is moving back and retracing the energy or its steps since the lunar eclipse on March the 25th, we could hear something being released, since the South Node is still there. But anyway, this could also be something um, regarding your life. So whatever happened during the eclipse, the lunar eclipse, you might hear something related to that, um, following or not following, coming up to this weekend. So Saturday. And this is also a good time to like respect respect. Expect some sort of results, some good results from like the things that you apply your creativity to, like the things that you are really dedicated to. You are dedicating your craft, your creativity, dedicated to your craft and your creativity. This could be getting some sort of good results. So like some sort of painting you are working on, you could potentially finish it. But yeah, that's overall this week. Um, I'm trying to think that I forget anything. I know that this week the Michael Jackson trailer was released at some sort of like I think festival or something. I don't know. But I heard that the movie is long. It's like 3 or 4 hours. I have not heard like if it was good or not, like if how the trailer is, like anybody's reviews from it. I just actually saw somebody's video on YouTube about it. But anyway, I'm trying to think of things that happened this week. Oh my god, I'm having like a brain fart or something. But overall, this week looks really beautiful, guys. Like, especially if you are a Libra rising and you having financial troubles, go buy a lottery ticket. I'm about to text my brother. He's a Libra rising, one of my brothers. And then one of my other brothers is a Taurus rising. So yeah, let me text them and let them know. And then they need to contribute to me, to my accounts because this is some good advice. Especially if they get some money. But anyway, this is a very lucky week. If you are expecting whatever it is that you are expecting this week, um, you might get it in so many words. And I really hope that that's the case for many of us. But until next time, you guys, peace.